And good evening again, and we are Alloon-less at the minute, but he will be joining us later, as will Michael. To know him is to have your songs nicked Hawkins. So I'll kick off, as per, with a Lancashire song, a song from Manchester. Manchester, that city of cotton twist and twill, with the subject of my song, the cause of old me hill. She was handsome, fair and 20, and her eyes were hazy blue. Admirers she had plenty, and her name was Dorothy too. Nice chorus. She was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk. At a private ball I met her in 1863. I never will forget her, though she's been unkind to me. I was just in the pink of fashion, my underpants were new. I danced the waltz Circassian with charming Dorothy too. She was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk. We Scottished and we polkaed to the tunes the band did play. We waltzed and we mazurkaed till she waltzed my heart away. I whispered in this fashion as around the room we flew, doing the waltz of Vinya, I love you, Dottie Drew. She was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk. For months and months attention and to her I did pay, so with her fond attention she stole my heart away. The money I expended I'm ashamed to tell to you, but I'll tell you how it ended with myself and Dorothy too. She was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk. I received an intimation she a visit meant to pay to a dear relation who lived some miles away. In a month she'd be returning, I must make a short adieu, but her love for me was burning, ah, deceitful Dorothy too. She was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk. At 9 o'clock next morning to breakfast I sat down. The smile my face adorning soon turned into a frown, for in the morning paper a paragraph met me view. Jones, the calico printer's clerk, had married Dorothy Drew. And she was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk. Yes, she was very fond of dancing, but allow me to remark, one fine day she danced away with the calico printer's clerk.
Hey!
Aye, not bad that, John.
Good one, John. Not heard that before.
We have my missus here tonight. Her fiddle has come out of the box and it has been tuned.
But is it in tune? That's the problem. That's the question.
Right, go.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm close. I'm close enough. Right, okay.
Oh, yes, Leslie.
Lovely.
Well played, Leslie.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, fabulous.
Oh, Josephine's here for another dose. Right, okay, we'll just sort of...
Steve.
Yeah, you're on later. I'll give you plenty of warning, girl.
Oh, okay, love. Thank you.
Right, but looking at my list, we have got Mr. Alan Manouche. Have you frozen, Alan?
No, I'm
No,
waiting for
well,
you.
you're
I'm
just sitting
just
still.
waiting for you to mute everyone, and unmute myself. That's all.
No, they can mute
They
themselves.
can always... Yeah, look, I've got enough
Oh.
with that Alan here tonight. Just mute yourselves if I forget, okay?
Oh, yeah, fine. Thank you, John.
Unmute yourself now, Alan.
Don't start that.
To you. Right. I don't know what to do tonight. I said to John earlier, I've got suffering with Jeff's problem tonight. I've got, after the Dragon's Breath Tuesday, which is a really good night, I woke up Wednesday morning and arthritis had sort of flared up in my thumb, and I could barely dress myself on Wednesday morning. And I can just hold the guitar now, so I'll do something simple. This is not a proper song. It's a little ditty I did on my last album. It's just a thrash one we put away. It's called, I can't think what it's called now. It's called, anyway. Whatever life may throw at you, you may trip or fall. Just focus on the things you need and you can have it all. When work is hard and times are tough and you feel life is not enough, then on your dreams you must believe. Then anything you can achieve, you must always keep your dreams. Even when it seems that life has left you torn apart, you must always keep your dreams. The dreams can make a dull day bright and help you through a troubled night. Dreams can take you far away and lead you to another day. Dreams can make a day's task brighter and hard times soon become much brighter. Lose your dreams and you must change. Your life you'll have to rearrange. You must always keep your dreams, even when it seems that life has left you torn apart. You must always keep your dreams. Whatever life may throw at you, you may trip or fall. Just focus on the things you want, and you can have it all. Well, you would always keep your dreams, even when it seems that life has left you torn apart. You must always keep your dreams. You must always keep your dreams. When it seems that life has left you torn apart, you must always keep your dreams. That life has left you torn apart, you must always keep your dreams. You must always keep your dreams. You must always keep your dreams. Boom.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
I recorded that as the last thing on the album. I used electric guitar with lots of power chords. It's a bit punky and a bit, but there you go. A little throwaway number. I didn't know what to do with, so that's it.
Oh, you've always been cutting edge, haven't you, Alan, eh?
Very
Who else
polite
have we
for a
got?
punk song, though, isn't it?
Oh, we've got the Stokies in their motorhome, and we've got Dave. So, evening all. And we've got B. We will separate you from the other one tonight. We'll pop you on sort of sometime after him. But we are without Mike and Helen tonight. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to find somebody else to pick on. And it could be you. So beware. Right, in fact, it could be
If you make it.
you, Brian and Sue Race. Come on then, give us a song.
You're next.
You're next. Are you? Yes. No, you're not. It's Gwen.
Yes, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I'm following the boxes
Yeah.
on my screen.
Well,
Okay, John.
Right, no, it's Gwen.
we
It's
can
Gwen.
start
Get it,
picking
Gwen.
it back, you know. It can be done. This is a song called Aimless Love. He's just a small fry, gun shy, have his heart touched without a glove. He looks at strangers as potential dangers, trying to steal his aimless love. For love has no mind, it can't spell unkind. It's never seen a heart shaped like a Valentine. For if love knew him, it would walk up to him and introduce him to a nameless love. I've been out walking, kind of pillow talking with anyone who had some time for me. There are some folks who think that love chokes and ties and keeps them from being free. Love has no mind, it can't spell unkind. It's never seen a heart shaped like a Valentine. For if love knew you, it'd walk up to you and introduce you to a nameless love. look at strangers as potential dangers, trying to steal your aimless love. Love has no mind, it can't spell unkind. It's never seen a heart shaped like a valentine. It'd walk up to you and introduce you to a nameless love, and introduce you to a nameless love. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yes, Graham. That lovely rhythmic guitar, mate. That lovely rhythmic guitar.
There we go.
I look forward to it every week. I don't know if it's the internet effects you get, but it's really good.
Yeah, I filled it full of tin foil to try to make it sound a bit more tinny than it.
You should borrow Alan's dobro. You know,
Yeah, I'm not borrowing anything more off Alan. No.
You could have done with borrowing Dave Hatcher's voice for those low notes, couldn't you?
No, I did a song for Dave Ice last week, and he wasn't here. But there we go. Yeah, I did rocking chair money for you, Dave, but you weren't here. So there we are.
No, he's not speaking to you.
I'm so sorry to miss that. I'm glad Hank Williams is being maintained, though. That's
Oh yes, yeah.
good. Excellent.
Right, so the late arrivals will have noticed that Alan isn't here as yet. He will be joining us in about 3/4 of an hour, probably, something like that. And okay, it's a bit of a shambles tonight. The problem is he will see that it's a bit of a shambles on the recording.
No, we won't tell him, John. We'll say it's been ordered.
Yeah, we'll watch the bloody
Our
recording,
lips
won't
are
it?
sealed.
And
John,
wet it,
that's
John.
about how long I can be here today.
Okay, Storm. Right, we'll sort of work through. Where are we now? We are definitely up in County Durham with Brian and Sue.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Is anybody else? Alan Alun, his new picture there is far better than the previous one he had on. Picture of Bertie there.
Little Bertie.
Well, it
he's
looks more like
gorgeous.
him, yeah.
Bertie's got the shits at the moment.
Oh, has he?
I'm going to say Alan's grown a lot of hair.
Is that a technical term, John?
No, it's a Lancashire term.
It was actually
Right.
the name of my... Right.
Two from you, pair, please.
Okay.
All right, thanks, John. Yeah, it was the name of my dad, bless him.
Bertie.
was Bert. So Bertie, here we go.
Right. Quick straw poll. Who knows of Lindisfarne, the band, not the island?
Wahey!
Oh.
Yeah.
John doesn't seem to be...
Good,
oh,
good,
yeah,
good.
he is sure now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. This is probably one of their later ones in that it was sort of late 90s. Most of theirs are sort of 70s, but it's Can't Do Right for Doing Wrong.
Oh, yes.
If I seem kind of blue to you, it's just 'cause I'm not getting through to you. And I'll do anything you want me to, just so we can get along. And if I should have a mind to say, what is it makes you want to be this way? Could be today's just not my lucky day, and I can't do right for doing wrong. I've told you what you mean to me, I've even told you what you've been to me. I wish we could be where we both belong, but I can't do right for doing wrong. I say too little or I say too much. I see no recognition in your eyes. I try to fix it with a tender touch. When I see too late, the chance has passed me by. Sometimes when I don't have much time to stay, I'll make a move and watch you turn away. I'll hesitate when I should come on strong, but I can't do right for doing wrong. I say too little or I say too much. I see no recognition in your eyes. I try to fix it with a tender touch, but I see too late. The chance has passed me by. And we could get to where we want to be with just a little faith and honesty, instead of drifting where we don't belong. But I can't do right for doing wrong. Can't do right for doing wrong. Can't do right for doing wrong. Can't do right for doing wrong.
Lovely.
Beautiful, you two.
Story of my life, that.
I have to say though, Brian, your voice is a little too good for Lindisfarne. You haven't got that edge to it.
That was brilliant.
Believe me, I can make it a lot worse than that. Right, we're going to do a Ed Sheeran song, but while I'm just checking the tune, and I'll mention our Welsh connection. Susan used to go to Wales with her parents as a child. I didn't, but in the late 80s, we came down to Wales and bought 2 Welsh cobs, and for the next few years we were breeding Welsh cob foals till we lost our field that we were renting. But so that's our connection. We don't have any horses now or ponies now.
No.
But it was gorgeous, lovely time.
How can you lose a
Where
field?
did you
I mean,
get
they're
those
bloody big
from?
things. You can't just lose a field.
Well, we went round one morning as usual. It wasn't there. No, it was rented. It's a school now.
We have a pony stud just up the road from us, about a mile and a half up the road. So
Oh, lovely.
I wonder if you got them from there, perhaps.
Possibly.
Well, one of the blokes we bought from was Tegwin Jones. Probably a very common name.
Yeah.
Alan will tell you it's not a common name, it's a popular name.
Of course, yes. That's what we meant to say.
But I always say that popular implies you have some choice about it.
Whereas John and I both have a common name and a name in common. Yeah.
Shut up!
Get down, shit!
Spot on.
I don't think Galaxy like that.
Yeah, I am
Nice one,
shut
Izzy.
up.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
sorry.
This is Afterglow by Ed Sheeran. Stop the clocks, it's amazing. You should see the way the light dances off your hair. Million colors of hazel, golden and red. Saturday morning is fading. The sun's reflected by the coffee in your hand. My eyes are caught in your gaze. all over again. We were love drunk, waiting on a miracle, trying to find ourselves in the winter snow. So alone in love, like the world had disappeared. Oh, I won't be silent and I won't let go. I will hold on tighter till the afterglow, and we'll burn so bright till the darkness softly clears. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Weather outside's changing. The leaves are buried under 6 inches of white. Radio is playing Iron and Wine. This is a new dimension. This is a level where we're losing track of time, holding nothing against it except you and I. We were love drunk, waiting on a miracle, trying to find ourselves in the winter snow. So alone in love, like the world had disappeared. Oh, I won't be silent and I won't let go. I will hold on tighter till the afterglow, and we'll burn so bright till the darkness softly clears. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow.
Yeah. Hey.
Thank you.
Did anybody else see Brian go ginger and freckly, or was it just me?
I think it's your medication.
I think it's your medication, is it?
I think I forgot to take it.
Oh, I
I think
see.
that's the least of your worries.
Nice one.
Right. Oh, that was lovely as always. That was right. For those of you who've come late, because I am but co-host and Alan isn't back as we speak, we are not following the Muppet boxes. So, as I did a minute ago when I
only because he can't do it.
So I'll have a quick refresh of what's coming up in the near future, because I know your memories are bloody awful. We've got Gaffer next, then Terry, and then we'll squeeze Storm in because he's got to go early, and then John and Carol. So that'll do you for the next few minutes then. Gaffer, Terry, Storm, John and Carol. Come on, Doc.
Well, there we are. Zoom in on me. I got a little impatient waiting for Brian and Sue to sing Talk to Me Dirty and Geordie, so I was obliged to spend the last 2 weeks going down to the Sidmouth Festival in Devon, where a gentleman called Jeslow sang it for me, so I'm quite content now. But I do like to let people know that we had a Geordie once in Llandudno. And this was before Brexit, and the single market still included Northumberland. And he actually got a job in Llandudno. He worked in TK Maxx, and he only had 2 things to do. One was to put the shirts on the rail, as you can see here here behind me, and I think you'll agree he didn't do an awfully bad job there. The only other thing he had to do was he had to put a little label on them, and that was a little more problematic. And perhaps I should move my head out of the way at this point, because that's what he put. Shorts. So there you go. Where I come from, I think Geordie's anywhere past Bristol, so I think he probably qualified anyhow. Let's have a look at myself. There we go. Anyway, so it's a song from Cornwall I'm going to sing now rather than a Geordie song, because we've got people who are more expert than I at doing that. It's a 3-hand reel, and it's what they used to use for dancing when they didn't have any band. Oh, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now some say the devil's dead and buried in Foy Harbour. More to say he rose again, apprenticed to a barber. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now when John's father died, now John and I us took a ride down beside the waterside and home again for supper. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. The mayor of Louis caught the flu, you should have heard him wheezing. His wife stuck parsnips up his nose to stop the bugger sneezing. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Billy Powers, he sat for hours waiting for the ferry. He didn't know 'tweren't due to go till the end of February. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Jan Tresize, he sold his wife because she gave him bother. With the money he did make, he bought himself another. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Adam Clay gave his away because he couldn't sell her. Then he took her back 'cause he felt sorry for that feller. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Jasper Ware, he took his mare along to Liskeard Market. He swapped his horse for a pony 'cause 'twas easier to park it. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Artie Swiggs, he feeds his pigs on bacon rind and trifle. The awful rave the planet saved, the bacon rinds recycled. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Peter Sweet, he loves his sheep so sweetly as he reared 'em. He knit some woolly overcoats to put on when he sheared 'em. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Tom Trethewin killed his cow because she wasn't carving. So much meat upon that beast, he saved his family starving. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, Faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now Don Tregeay come home one day from market day in Lanson. Who should he find but his own dear wife sat cuddle in the parson? Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now cousin Jane, she've took her pain to the doctor for to cure it. Says he, my dear, what have we here, and how did you procure it? Oh, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Now some to say that the devil's dead, he've buried in Foy Harbour. More to say that he rose again, apprentice to a barber. Faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day in the fields all day. Faddle-diddle-daddle-diddle-daddle-diddle-day, faddle-diddle-day till the cows come home. Thank you all very much.
I'd give you a couple of
Short and
seconds just to make
sweet
sure
as
you weren't getting another verse in.
Plan new.
It was short and sweet as always.
Do you want the other 19 verses now, or?
Yeah, go on.
Oh.
Right, where are we? Oh, we are down in Essex now with Terry. I can't find you. Oh, you're down there. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't move all the boxes about. I don't have the authorization. But I've got to do everything else. I'm meant to be writing the blog for the website tomorrow. So that'll be just fiction, basically. I ain't got time to do everything. But
well, used to
Storm
that.
was asking about, if we're still here. We're definitely here tonight. We'll definitely be here next week. We may be here till the end of September. We're having a committee meeting on Tuesday to decide. But if you keep in contact through either the website, rylfolkclub.com, or Friends of Rhyl Folk Club on Facebook, or your emails, we'll keep you up to date with what is going on. The website is always the most accurate because I run it. And as you know, I'm always completely on top of my game. The way this runs smooth as silk tonight. Terence.
Yes, Mother. This is, it is like a well-oiled machine. Right, this song is not cheerful. I warn you now. It could do with a faddle-daddle-o in the middle of it. It's the old song written by Mike and Al Waterson from their 1972 album Bright Phoebus. I don't know what it's about. Pagan rituals and changing of the seasons, I think. As I rode out one summer's morn, I saw a scarecrow tied to a pole in a field of corn, and his coat was black and his head was bare, and the wind shook him and the crows took into the air. Ah, would you lay me down and love me? Ah, would you lay me down and love me now? When you're only a bag of rags in an overall, and the wind swayed, and the crows flew away, and the corn grew tall. As I rode out one winter's day, I saw an old man hanging from a pole in a field of clay, and his coat was gone and his head hung low, and the wind flung it up, took a look, wrung its neck and let it go. How could you lay me down and love me? How could you lay me down and love me now? When you're only a bag of bones in an overall, and the wind blows, the kids throw stones at the thing on the pole. As I rode out one fine spring day, I saw 12 jolly dons dressed up in the blue and the gold so gay, and to a stake they tied a child newborn, and the bells were rung and the people they sung, and they sowed their corn. Now you can lay me down and love me. Now you can lay me down and love me now. Though you're only a bag of rags in an overall, and the wind blew and the sun shone too, and they sowed their corn. As I rode out one summer's morn, I saw a scarecrow tied to a pole in a field of corn.
Beautiful.
Whoa, beautiful.
That was beautiful, Terry.
Very wonderful.
Beautiful.
Lovely song.
We had Terry Hisco and the London Philharmonic Orchestra. Very nice, Terry.
What chorus have you got there, Terry?
It's where are we? It's just a boss.
Right. Okay.
A boss thing. Nothing special.
No, sounds
Just
nice though.
Oh, it sounded beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
All right, if you like that sort of thing, I suppose. Right, let's refresh.
Right. It must have been good.
We've
He's taking the piss.
We've got Storm because he's got to go early. John and Carol, Davith, Brian, Maureen, Jeff Durno, Linda, B, and then Joe, Dave. That's all for now. So I'll keep you informed as we go along. So Storm next.
Okay. Well, since we're living in a bizarro world in my country, the person who used to be a meth addict and has made himself a billionaire through selling pillows, for the last few days has been having a large conference in which she is loudly proclaiming that by the end of today, the Supreme Court is going to somehow magically rise up and reinstate President Trump as president. And people have actually been paying a lot of attention to him on the far right. And there's a real fear that if it doesn't happen, that they may result to all sorts of dangerous tactics to change the government. So, since we're living in a world that might as well go to the cats and dogs, I figured I'd do a poem about a cat and a song about a dog. Yeah. Now, of course, it happens to be Friday the 13th on top of everything else. Okay. I have a cat who so aloof enters nightly from her roof. Try again. I have a cat who so aloof enters nightly from my roof. At 2 a.m. she cries out shrill, waiting on my windowsill. She expects of me little more than that I open every door. Just pet her daily, fill her dish, and attend her slightest wish. Yet her loyalty I don't doubt. Graphically she points it out, for she, wherever she may roam, always brings the mouse bits home. And this is a wonderful song by a friend of mine named Freebo called She Loves My Dog More Than Me. Once upon a time, everything was fine, cozy just my baby and me. I was so well fed, had my breakfast in bed, I was happy as a man can be. Then my buddy called up, had the cutest little pup, I couldn't help but take him in. Little did I know her infection would go to my new little four-legged friend. Now she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. We were lying by the fire, burning with desire, when suddenly to my chagrin, as the fire got to stoking, came a cold nose a-poking, somewhere it should not have been. I thought she'd shoo him away, but she told him to stay, and it kinda took me out of my zone. Now a man's best friend gets a girl in the end, and I'm left holding the bone, 'cause she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. So I'm sitting here fuming while he's getting all the grooming. That ain't how it's supposed to be. Well, you know I don't hate him, but I've got an ultimatum. Baby, it's the dog or me. Well, I got her reply as she led me outside, and she handed me my people chow. Now I'm howling at the moon while he's up in my room, and I'm in the doghouse now. Now she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. There's a moral to the story: when you fall from glory, you gotta do it gracefully. So I'm back in the bed with the dog at the head. We're a nuclear family, and I accept my fate, and there's little debate, 'cause this ain't no democracy. And my page just froze, 'cause it's plain to see how things can be. 'Cause she loves my dog more than me. Now she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me. Yeah, she loves my dog more than me. She loves my dog more than me. I love my dog, and she loves my dog, but she loves my dog more than me.
Brilliant, Storm.
It's a pity Alan isn't here because he has got that problem at the moment. You'll see he's got a nice little puppy on his picture there. That's Bertie, who arrived about a week ago.
Wow.
And Bertie is shitting everywhere at the minute. He's got the runs.
Did he arrive with that, John?
Has
he developed
I don't think so. I think he's acquired it in Prestatyn.
Oh, well.
As you would do.
Say no more.
It's the sea air. But yeah, Alan has dropped down in the pecking order.
Oh, the pecking order. I thought you said something else then, John.
Right, you're on, John.
Oh, am I? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All I can say is that I'm glad I didn't have to follow Terry. That was so splendid. I'm not going to make you laugh. This is a protest song I wrote 2010. It's not what you take, nor the money you make, got nothing to do with status or with class. This life isn't a race or a money paper chase, and it isn't a test you have to pass. Ooh. It's more of how you care and the love that you can share with those all around you and the whole world if you dare. It's about being kind and the friendships that you find that will mark you out as a man. Ooh. It's not about religion, not about your gods. It's not about your rules and regulations. If we have, we must give, or live and let live, if we hope to bring peace unto the nations. Ooh. It's not about the power, not about the oil. We must put an end to war and starvation. If we have, we must give, live and let live, if we hope to bring peace unto the nations. Ooh. Ooh. So it's not what you take, nor the money you make, got nothing to do with status or with class. This life isn't a race or a money paper chase, and it isn't a test you have to pass. Ooh.
Yeah, lovely, John.
While you're swapping seats, there's been a lot of talk on the chat about supermarket whiskey and booze. I was in Alder the other day, and there was a chap. I mean, now it is these days, you tend to walk round behind people in single file, and it was just putting a 12-pack of beer in his trolley because it was on offer, 10 quid. And his wife said, "Put that back, we can't afford it." So I've sort of followed him round, and then we got round to the toiletries, and she reaches out for this jar of face cream. It was about 20 quid, I think. So he said, "We can't afford it." She said, "But this makes my face lovely and young and soft, and it makes me look beautiful." He said, "So does 12-pack of lager." Right, are you in your seat, Carol?
Thank you all for a lovely time.
Okay, Storm, we're here next week.
Be a Storm.
Oh, I got a quick joke for you, though.
Nope, right.
Take care.
Bono and Edge walked into a bar, and the bartender said, "You two again?"
Worse than mine.
Yeah. That's like a man walked into a bar and fell over. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
So, as requested by John Shepherd last week.
It's Sennen, isn't it? Oh, I'm all excited now.
And for those of you who don't know, I wrote the poem, which is called Sennen, and John wrote the music, which is called Summer Seas. Both about 5 years ago, sat on Sennen Cove. I'm sitting on Sennen, listening to the sea. The sun's in the sky, and you're with me. There's surfers riding the rolling waves. It's good to be here any day. There's boats on the horizon that seem so small, and couples stroll along the shore. There's children playing on the sand. It's good to be here once more. The cormorant dives beneath the waves, searching for the fish, and the coast path walkers follow the trail. It's good to have days like this. The constant noise of the endless waves outdoes the roar of a plane as it flies overhead to the Scilly Isles. It's good to be here once again. There's a crag on the hillside behind me. It looks like a sleeping gnome. I hope I can remember all of this when it's time for me to go home. And the seagulls wheel around the cove. Cape Cornwall seems so near, and Longship's light can be plainly seen when the weather is fine and clear. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
Really lovely.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Right, lovely stuff there. Thank you. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Okay, I will now
Welcome,
go.
thank you for asking.
Costs nothing to ask. And if you're waiting for the check in the post, you'll be waiting a
Well,
very
it
long
does.
time. Right, we have.
Oh, John!
Listen up. We have Davith, Brian, Maureen, Jeff Durno, Linda, B, Joe and Mike, Dave Heitch, Paul, the conjoined Jenkins twins, Peter Cook, and then probably Mike and Aloon by the time we get round there. And that's going to be getting well on, isn't it? And I haven't said bonsoir to Eveline. And hello to Michael. And hello to the Stokies ducks. in their little motorhome. Right. Where did I say? Oh, it's Davith. Davith.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Yes. Well, I've been thinking about this subject a bit of late, and I'm going to read a little bit from the very first parts of a novel by one of my very favourite authors, a fellow called Douglas Adams. I'm sure you all know him. There is a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly what the universe is for and why it is here, it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. There is another theory which states that this has already happened. So here's the story so far. In the beginning, the universe was created. This had made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Many races believe that it was created by some sort of god, though the Jatravartid people of Viltvodel 6 believe that the entire universe was in fact sneezed out of the nose of a being called the Great Green Arkelseizure. The Jatravartids, who live in perpetual fear of the time they call the coming of the Great White Handkerchief, are small blue creatures with more than 50 arms each, who are therefore unique in being the only race in history to have invented the aerosol deodorant before the wheel. However, the Great Green Arkelseizure theory is not widely accepted outside Viltvodel 6, and so, the universe being the puzzling place it is, other explanations are constantly being sought. For instance, a race of hyper-intelligent pan-dimensional beings once built themselves a gigantic supercomputer called Deep Thought to calculate once and for all the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. For 7.5 million years, Deep Thought computed and calculated, and in the end announced that the answer was in fact 42. And so, another, even bigger computer had to be built to find out what the actual question was. And this computer, which was called the Earth, was so large that it was frequently mistaken for a planet, especially by the strange ape-like beings who roamed its surface, totally unaware that they were simply part of a gigantic computer program. And this is very odd, because without that fairly simple and obvious piece of knowledge, nothing that ever happened on the Earth could possibly make the slightest bit of sense. Sadly, however, just before the critical moment of readout, the Earth was unexpectedly demolished by the Vogons to make way, so they claimed, for a new hyperspace bypass. And so all hope of discovering a meaning for life was lost forever. Or so it would seem. 2 of these strange ape-like creatures survived. Arthur Dent escaped at the very last moment because an old friend of his, Ford Prefect, suddenly turned out to be from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Betelgeuse, and not from Guildford as he had hitherto claimed. And, more to the point, he knew how to hitch rides on flying saucers. Tricia Macmillan, or Trillian, had skipped the planet 6 months earlier with Zaphod Beeblebrox, the then President of the Galaxy. 2 survivors. They are all that remains of the greatest experiment ever conducted, to find the ultimate question and the ultimate answer of life, the universe, and everything. And less than 500,000 miles from where their starship is drifting lazily through the inky blackness and space, a Vogon ship is moving slowly towards them. Thank you.
Marvellous. Thank you, David. Don't forget your towel.
Ah, yes. Yes, Paul hasn't given it to me yet.
Oh, well.
Right. No, that's terrible.
Slow, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
There's too many bloody hippies in this club, really.
I think you're right. Do you know that was written 41 years ago?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
One is too many.
Yeah.
Right, thank you, David. Hope you're feeling a wee bit better soon.
Oh, well, I hope so too. I'm not feeling particularly ill now, so I hope I don't get any worse.
Let's hope it clears before anything else happens.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
Supermarket whiskey will obviously sort it out according to the rest of the chat.
Well, yes, I know B found that Telescope was being sold quite cheaply and very kindly left some at my doorstep.
Can I give her my address?
Well,
Right.
it depends what your what's the word? What your intentions are, John.
You've got to have COVID first.
To pour it down my neck.
Yeah, that's right.
Bumby, I like that.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Moving down to Eastbourne. Brian, I can't find your box. I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're in my bottom corner. You could be anywhere. Some of the Tea Nowith crowd are just appearing, as I predicted a few minutes ago. We've got Mike and Margaret back. Alan will probably be another sort of 7 or 8 minutes because he's got to drive a bit further to Prestatyn and then clear up the dog shit. Right, Brian.
He doesn't do the whole of Prestatyn, does he?
Right. This is a song by Gene Watson and Rhonda Vincent called Gone for Good. And I'm going to sing this with Linda. And Linda's going to start it off.
Hello everyone, it's been a while. Good to be back again. Here we go. You used to kiss me every afternoon when you walked through the door. You'd smile and tell me all about your day, but you don't do that anymore.
We no longer take the time to talk the way we should. If we keep letting things go bad, we'll soon be gone for good.
What's not going on here
is tearing us apart, building a wall of doubt
that stands between our hearts. We can't go on like this forever.
It's time we understood.
If we keep letting things go bad,
they'll soon be gone for good.
You used to reach out and touch me in the middle of the night. Now we sleep facing different wars. Silent wars are hard to fight.
But that's just what can happen, and I was so afraid it would. If we keep letting things go bad, they'll soon be gone for good.
What's not going on here
Is tearing us apart,
building a wall of doubt.
that's lost between our hearts.
We can't go on like this forever.
It's time we understood.
If we keep letting things go bad,
They'll soon be gone for good.
we can't go on like this forever.
It's time we understood.
If we keep letting things go bad,
They'll soon be gone for good.
Thank you, and nice to see you back, Linda. We see you've been out and about with Coppersmith, is it?
Yep, Coppersmith, yep, back out on the road, so. But
I hope the Inland Revenue is party to your income.
We have
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. It's going on YouTube.
Expenses.
I will just run through the order again for the people who have just come. We've got Maureen next, Jeff Durno, Linda, B, Joe, Dave Heitch, Paul, the Jenkins twins, Peter Cook, Mike, and then Aloon. Bloody hell, that's going to take us through, isn't it? Eh? Right. I've forgotten who I just said then now.
Maureen.
Maureen.
All the way from Vancouver.
All right. From the 1960s, let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in Muckle I'll go. All the lassies say, hello, Donald, where's your trousers? I've just come down from the Isle of Skye. I'm no very big and I'm awfully shy. The lassies say as I go by, Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in Muckle I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Now I went to a fancy ball and it was slippery in the hall and I was feared that I might fall. 'Cause I had nae on me trousers. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in Muckle I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Now I went down to London town to have a little fun on the underground. The ladies turned their heads around saying, Donald, where are your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in Muckle I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? The lassies love me, everyone, but let them catch me if you can. You cannot take the bricks off a healing man. Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in Muckle I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers?
I haven't heard that for some years.
No, Andy Stewart was a Canadian, and Billy Connolly has a lot of interesting things to say about him, as well as Harry Lauder, but we won't go on to
Oh, you started now.
Can't stop now, John.
Right, brother.
Must have heard it all.
Peter Cooker's departed. He has to go, so that's a one less.
Has he left
Mr.
Dudley
Durno.
Moore with us? Has he left Dudley Moore with us? No.
I wonder if he's heard that gag before.
I wonder. It must be new to him. I'm sure.
Jeff.
Not only to him, but also to me.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay, I've been away all this week. I've been down in the fair county of Hampshire for all this week, and I've just driven back from Southampton this afternoon, trying to avoid all the. I don't know why the M6 was closed.
And you didn't
Shut all
call
day.
That's cheeky.
So it's been a bit awkward. Anyway, driving back, I thought I'd drop in on all this madness tonight and see what was going on. And I was trying to think, what would you do? Because I haven't touched a guitar all week, because I've been in meetings, and quite a bit of yesterday was spent on the phone, because you've probably all heard on the news that a good friend of mine and the family's Wener Stubbs died yesterday. So I was trying to think what to do, and then suddenly this came to me. This is a forgotten Harvey Andrews, which I don't think he ever recorded. Well, if he did, I don't know where he recorded it. And it's called When Ellie Waves Goodbye. So have a go at this. When Ellie waves goodbye, she'll always laugh, she'll never cry. So if I drive or if I fly, I go easy as she waves goodbye. She runs to see me leave, hitches up her little sleeve, waves a hand, and I believe that what I've lost she can retrieve. When Ellie waves goodbye, with a smile upon her face, the simple style and grace of a little girl, oh, it sets me a whirl. Sometimes I travel far, minstrel man, this old guitar, I carry time, my only scar, looking for that lucky star I call the road a friend. I love her curve and I love her bend, the letters and the cards I send, and the way my home waits at her end. And Ellie waves goodbye with a smile upon her face, the simple style and grace of a little girl, well, it sets me a whirl. I travel far for you, to sing the songs I love to do. When the time we share is through, I remember how the minutes flew. Oh, I've lost it. When Ellie waves goodbye, she'll always laugh, she'll never cry. So if I drive or if I fly, I go easy when she waves goodbye.
If I'd been practising for a month, I couldn't play like that. Don't agree with him, you bastards. Right.
Well,
Where are we now? Thank you very much, Jeff. How's the business sale going? Is it going through, or?
There's a big meeting Monday and another big meeting. Well, actually, there's a big Zoom meeting Monday, and there's a whole meeting here on site on Wednesday, and finally that'll sort of it's then down to the solicitors to finalise the contracts. So
that'll be forever.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're moving out, Jeff, or are you
No.
just selling the business?
No, actually, it's the best deal I could have possibly come up with, John, because that's what I thought I was going to have to do.
Right.
But now, because of what's happening and what they're doing, and they're actually going to stay on this site renting it for a year to continue, because I've managed to get them 2 large contracts, one with the Coal Authority and another one with the Environment Agency and English Nature for next year, plus their own work, and they're going to have to hit the ground running. So I've got to stay involved with it. I'm going to be involved with it for probably 3 or 4 years yet.
Oh, right, okay.
Which, as a sort of consultancy thing, is pretty good when you're trying to retire, isn't it, really?
Yeah. As long as you're okay with it, Jeff, that's fine, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it means we don't have to move away from here immediately, Whereas
Well,
I was thinking originally that nobody would want to buy the business, so I'd have to clear up, return it to field, sell it, and then we'd have to move, because Equitable Life took my pension away years ago, and it was going to be difficult to exist on the old age pension alone.
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to be. So it's worked out very well, really.
Great news. I'm sorry about interrupting everything, but that's fantastic to hear, Jeff.
You'll find nettle soup is very nutritious, Jeffrey, once you've retired. And it's surprising what you can do with roadkill.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of writing a book of recipes of roadkill.
Before I went away, I was starting to rework Nearer to Nettles by Jez Lowe.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go. You've never been nearer to nettles.
Never.
Potato makes a very good whiskey as well, so I've heard, but
We've done all the whiskey tonight.
Moving on.
Linda!
Hello. As John said, I'm fortunate to be going back to real live folk clubs, so I haven't been on Zoom for a very long time, so it's great to be back. This is a song that was written by Glenn Capani, the other half of Coppersmith, for me to sing. So this is The Sparrow. He normally plays the guitar. He's the guitarist in the duo, not me, but I'll do my best. A little brown sparrow, she made her nest in the bramble and the thorn. So when the magpie he came to call, his feathers would all be torn. And when the snow began to fall, she felt both safe and warm. A little brown sparrow, she made her nest in the bramble and the thorn. Don't punish me if I need to be more than I am today. I'm so tired of the times that you put me down and all the games you play. And I need to grow now, so I need to go now, and I think that you need to stay. But don't punish me if I need to be more than I am today. Oh, cold she blows the winter wind, and mournful is her cry. But deep within the tangle of thorns, the sparrow closed her eyes. Her nest was lined with the softest moss that nature could provide, to keep her warm through the howling storm that blew both far and wide. Don't punish me if I need to be more than I am today. I'm so tired of the times that you put me down and all the games you play. And I need to grow now, so I need to go now, and I think that you need to stay. But don't punish me if I need to be more than I am today. The darkness falls and hungry eyes burn through the blanket of snow. But deep within the bramble and thorn, she keeps her head down low. And the wind it blows, and the snow it falls, and the thunder it cracks like a gun. And the creature who hunts by the light of the moon must turn his tail and run. Don't punish me if I need to be more than I am today. I'm so tired of the times that you put me down and all the games you play. And I need to grow now, so I need to go now, and I think that you need to stay. But don't punish me if I need to
Testing
be
1 2 3 4
more
5.
than I am today. A little brown sparrow, she made her nest in the bramble and the thorn. So when the magpie he came to call, his feathers would all be torn. And when the snow began to fall, she felt both safe and warm. A little brown sparrow, she made her nest in the bramble and the thorn. In the bramble and the thorn. A little brown sparrow, she made her nest in the bramble and the thorn.
Lovely as always, Linda. Oh, we have been joined by testing 1 2 3.
Oh yes, indeed.
You see how quick I was though to mute
We
the
heard
button?
him.
I struck like a rattlesnake there. Woo.
You got as far as 5 though.
You can't count beyond 5.
You can't hear him now. He's so shy. He's gone quiet.
Alan.
Can't hear you, Alan.
We can't hear you, Alan.
It's not that you're muted. You're just not making any noise.
He's making a bit, but not very much.
Carry on without making.
Yeah, we intend to, because it is running as smooth as silk here tonight.
Load of rubbish.
It is blemish free. We just go.
You'll see the difference. You'll see the truth tomorrow, Al.
Yeah.
I'm back on the right mic now. Sorry about that.
He's speaking something about round objects, if you know what I mean. But
no,
Rugby shape.
Unmute.
No.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
There's a lot of not muted people.
It's a poem called Angels' Trumpets. And this is a sort of joint effort between me and an artist friend who drew a beautiful picture of these flowers. They're the ones in my background. Their normal name or formal name is Brugmansia. And she wrote a beautiful description of the plant, including 3 important things. One is that they're very fragrant in the evening. Also, they have poisonous leaves and seeds, but these can be hallucinogenic. And I thought that all deserved to be put into some sort of poem. My favourite time.
Have you got any?
I did have, not now. My favourite time, warm night air filled with the scent of brugmansia. Hawk moths hovering closely around these angel trumpets, whose heady hypnotic perfume can seduce the unwary into an early grave. As fireflies flicker, the blooms loom ghostly luminous. Their nodding heads beckon, and the rising moon draws nearer, as if it too is mesmerized by that voluptuous aroma and the gently nodding heads. I hear a plangent whisper, perhaps a sob. In a clearing eerily candescent, an epicene figure draped in a mantle of leaves draws a bow over a pool of golden rays that fall from the night sky. The sounds are unearthly, neither ancient nor modern. After each note, there emerges in the air a strange symbol on a musical stave that unfurls into an endless swirling ribbon. Teardrops tumble from the musician's mournful eyes, each one synchronized with a flying note that disappears into the earth to bring forth swelling seeds. Slowly they unfurl like enormous butterflies, sending exotic bolts of perfume into the air, each one now fulfilling the form of an angel's trumpet. In that velvety evening air, they compose a symphony of light and sound. End of.
Perfect diction.
Lovely, lovely.
Your diction is almost as good as what mine is.
Oh,
I'll try harder.
You need a few glottal stops in.
Oh dear.
That's what you practice your glottal stops. That's what you need.
I've got the bottle.
I will just refresh for
She
the
knows it.
late
She
the
knows
late
it,
comers.
John. She doesn't just use it. That's the thing.
For the late comers, the last few are Joe and Mike, Dave, Paul, the Jenkins crowd, Mike Hawkins, Alan, if we've got time.
Well, he was late, wasn't he? You know.
The late Alan Chris Jones.
I had to sign a lot of MVQ certificates tonight, you know.
He was early as well as late. He just wasn't normal, that's all. Never was, really.
Joe.
Hello there, everyone. Nice to be in Wales again, seeing as we're in Nottingham now at the moment. But we come into your part of the world quite often, actually, because Mike's got relatives there. So anyway, tonight, there's a bit of a story with my song. I'm sure you've all heard of Donald Campbell, who tried to do the land speed record. Well, one of our local fellas from the Folk Club has written a song about him and about his Bluebird car that went horribly wrong in the waters in the Lake District, of course. So this is a song by him, and I thought I'd sing it tonight because we're trying to do it at our own folk club. Now your waters are so still again, and your spirit lies peaceful on the hill. Take the pieces of your broken bird and sail away on the mighty ocean. Ooh, big bird, climb away. Ooh, big bird, into the blue again. 30 years in a murky grave, buried with a fierce ambition. Walk in silence beneath the lapping waves, waiting patiently to be saved. Ooh, big bird, climb away. Ooh, big bird, into the blue again. I remember you flying low across the gentle ripples of the grey waters. Acceleration into the great beyond, into the memories of a nation. Ooh, big bird, climb away. Ooh, big bird, into the blue again. Now your spirit lies peaceful on the hill, and your waters are so still. I do remember you flying low across the gentle ripples of the grey waters. Acceleration into the great beyond, into the memories of a nation. Ooh, big bird, fly away. Ooh, big bird, into the blue again. Now your spirit lies peaceful on the hill, and your waters now lie so still. Bluebird.
Thank you very much, Joe. And thanks for joining us again, all the way from Nottingham.
That's fine. Mike's got a poem for you.
Yeah, he's got a cup of tea as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's just been out to stick one in.
It's
Pardon?
It's
I'll rephrase that. He's just
Yes,
been
I
out-
think you should. It's a family show here, you know.
It's going to wind you up from that.
Yes.
It's a none too serious philosophical poem about a relationship between mankind and animals. And it's by Roald Dahl. And it's called The Pig. In England once there lived a big and wonderfully clever pig. To everybody it was plain that Piggy had a massive brain. He worked out sums inside his head. There was no book he hadn't read. He knew what made an aeroplane fly. He knew how engines worked and why. He knew all this, but in the end, one question drove him round the bend. He simply couldn't puzzle out what life was really all about. What was the reason for his birth? Why was he placed upon this earth? His giant brain went round and round. Alas, no answer could be found. Till suddenly, one wondrous night, all in a flash, he saw the light. He jumped up like a ballet dancer and yelled, "By gum, I've got the answer. They want my bacon slice by slice to sell at a tremendous price. They want my tender, juicy chops to put in all the butcher's shops. They want my pork to make a roast, and that's the part'll cost the most. They want my sausages in strings. They even want my chitterlings. The butcher's shop, the carving knife, that is the reason for my life." Now, such thoughts as these are not designed to give a pig great peace of mind. Next morning, in comes Farmer Bland, a pail of pig swill in his hand, and Piggy with a mighty roar bashes the farmer to the floor. Now comes the rather grisly bit, so let's not make too much of it, except that you must understand that Piggy did eat Farmer Bland. He ate him up from top to toe, chewing the pieces nice and slow. It took an hour to reach the feet because there was so much to eat. And when he finished, Pig, of course, felt absolutely no remorse. Slowly he scratched his brainy head, and with a little smile he said, I had a fairly powerful hunch that he might have me for his lunch. And so, because I feared the worst, I thought I'd better eat him first. By Roald Dahl.
I'm sure Alan will have something to say about that, one of these vegetarian types.
Oh, if you're a fish, I'll eat you if you're a fish. Or a prawn. I draw the line at lobsters as well you know, John.
Yes. That was a waste of bloody money on you, wasn't it? Moving to the next box on my screen, it's Dave.
Right, hi. I'll reciprocate Gwyn's Hank Williams offering. This is also a relatively obscure one. Hope you like this, Gwyn. There's no room in my heart for the blue. Love is satisfied to either win or lose. Darling, if our romance ends, let us part the best of friends. There's no room in my heart for the blue. There's no room in my life for a change. We'll let bygones be forgotten souvenirs. Darling, if our pathways part, let there be no broken hearts. There's no room in my life for a tear. There's no room in my life for a sigh. We'll be strong enough to face our last goodbye. Darling, if our pathways part, let there be no broken hearts. There's no room in my life for a sigh. There's no room in my heart for the blue. We'll be strong enough to either win or lose. Darling, if our romance ends, let us be the best of friends. There's no room in my heart for the blue.
Oh, classic.
Lovely. Always good, Dave. Always have good songs from you.
I think that was a low E or a low D that he just slipped in the middle.
It's just bloody low, let's be honest.
He's the only person who makes my guitar sound like a...
Yeah, fabulous.
Right, thank you very much, David. And we're down in Southampton. Where's Gwyneth tonight?
Ooh, South London, mate. South London.
Yeah, she's been fairly regular. Anyway, it's Paul.
Okay, who's also fairly regular. But you don't want to know about my digestive troubles. Right. This is Storm mentioned a cat and a dog and it having a wet nose and such like, which inspired this. When Ulysses comes home, he always greets me with an open heart. But you will see how Ulysses has taken my life apart. I've got a dog called Ulysses, he plays all day in the park, sniffing at his friends and the chestnut trees, and chasing cats till after dark. When my Ulysses comes home, wag wag woof woof, his tail in the air, his usual exuberance is awfully hard to bear. When I stumble home at night, I'm jaded and stale, so I try to take a little repose. I don't want waking up with a happy tale. I don't want a kiss from a big wet nose. When my Ulysses comes home, wag wag woof woof, he gets on my wick. For Ulysses communicates his love with a snuffle and a lick. I like to sit in my fireside chair, watching telly till the epilogue, in a semi-coma and without a care. And I would do if it were not for my bloody dog. When my Ulysses comes home, wag wag woof woof, like a maniac. It's useless to pursue my viewing, so I've sent my television back. I've tried to climb the social scale, so I organised a little do. Some pretty posh people came to my cocktail, but at 7:30 the party was through. When my Ulysses came home, wag wag woof woof, I knew I was sunk. My guests were not at all impressed, and they left when the dog got drunk. I brought my sweetie home one night, and we both knew that this was it. Sipping Chianti by candlelight, we were getting to a very important bit. When my Ulysses came home, wag wag woof woof, he broke the spell, intruding on my beautiful romance like a hound from hell. My one solution is quick and grim, a little bottle of cyanide. I can't bring myself to get rid of him. I shall have to perform a suicide. So when Ulysses comes home, wag wag woof woof, home for his tea, he'll have to cry a little bit for having given so much love to me.
Fabulous. Ever a song suited the singer. Lovely.
Oh, love a bit of Jake.
Oh, Jake Thackeray, he must have been in a really good mood when he wrote that song. And he ended up in a depressed state. It's a sad thing. I miss him.
Well, thank you very much, Paul.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right, we've got Mr. Jenkins and his daughter. Is that a football shirt you're wearing, boy?
It certainly is.
Blimey.
Well, what are you singing?
Well, I'm going first tonight. There's been a couple of mentions already of Jez Lowe, and I first heard this song on one of Jez Lowe's albums, but as you'll see, it wasn't actually Jez Lowe who was singing it. Song called Jordan. I look to the east, I look to the west, I saw John Buller coming a-courting, with 4 blind horses riding through the clouds to reach for the other side of Jordan. So pull off your old coat and roll up your sleeves. Jordan is a hard road to travel, I believe. Strife and stagnation are all across the land. Men, women, children, all are starving. I lie here afraid if there doesn't come a change, we'll all be on the other side of Jordan. So pull off your old coat and roll up your sleeves. Jordan is a hard road to travel, I believe. There's thunder in the clouds and lightning in the trees. I called to my child and then I told him, it's goodbye, son, till the next kingdom come, till we meet on the other side of Jordan. So pull off your old coat and roll up your sleeves. Jordan is a hard road to travel, I believe. This lady of England has sent a big address about slavery and horrors she is calling. She'd better look at home to her own poor slaves, we're starving on the English side of Jordan. So pull off your old coat and roll up your sleeves. Jordan is a hard road to travel, I believe. I look to the east, I look to the west, I saw John Buller coming a-courting, with 4 blind horses riding through the clouds to reach for the other side of Jordan. So pull off your old coat and roll up your sleeves. Jordan is a hard road to travel, I believe. So pull off your old coat and roll up your sleeves. Jordan is a hard road to travel, I believe.
Yeah!
Whoa! Woo! Well, it was Bev Sanders, I think, at the time, wasn't it, in the Bad Pennies? Yeah, Bev Sanders.
That's right.
I know I'm right. Don't be so.
Sometimes,
Oh.
There's a version of that song on the B-side of a Peter, Paul and Mary single. I think it might be on the back of the Times They Are Changing.
As they said, Bob Dylan writes the song, but we make it famous. That's a quote from Mary Travers. Apparently that's a quote.
Right, so
what's the football boy going to sing then?
Well, I've been going through some of my folk albums as well. Jan's been listening to Jez Lowe. I still remember the fascination that Christy Moore did a very good version of Dave Costello's songs. So one that I remember Dave singing. In 1986, there's not much for a chippy but swinging the pick. And you can't live on love and on love alone. So you sail across the ocean, away across the foam. To where you're a Paddy, a Biddy or a Mick. Good for nothing but stacking the brick. And your best friend's a spade and your carries a hard. To work horses heavily shod. Oh, I'm missing you. I give all for the price of a flight. Oh, I'm missing you under Piccadilly's neon. Who did you murder, or are you a spy? I'm just fond of a drink, helps me laugh, helps me cry. Now I just drink Red Betty for a permanent high. I laugh a lot less, I'll cry till I die. Oh, I'm missing you, I give all for the price of a flight. Oh, I'm missing you under Piccadilly's neon. All you young people now take my advice. Before crossing the ocean you better think twice. 'Cause you can't live without love alone. The truth's round the West End and the nobody's own. Where the summer is fine but the winter's a fridge, wrapped up in old cardboard under Charing Cross Bridge. And you'll never go home now because of the shame of the of the misfits' reflection in the shop window pane. Oh, I'm missing you. I gave all for the price of a flight. Oh, I'm missing you under Piccadilly's neon. See you there. Yes.
You'll never forget the word misfit again, will you?
I'll never sing that because of the shame.
Is that a Charlton Athletic jumper you've got on there?
It's not. It's a vintage Arsenal.
Is it?
I thought it was Arsenal, yeah.
Oh, when they had local players.
They lost tonight.
Oh, there we are.
Gooner.
We're all gutted, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a rugby, Alan. It was a football.
Sorry, I'm just watching the paint dry ears.
Michael, always ready. Is geared up. Look at him, ready to go.
His loins are good.
I couldn't remember the order, but I thought I'd better. Must be getting close to the end, so I thought I'd better
Well,
get.
there's only you and Alan left.
Just onto the dregs. This is a song called "Now I'm Easy." It's an Eric Bogle song. It's the story of the life of an Australian farmer. For nearly 60 years I've been a cocky. Droughts and fires and floods I've lived through plenty. But this country's dust and mud has seen my tears and blood. Nearly over now, now I'm easy. I married a fine girl when I was 20. She died giving birth when she was 30. No flying doctor then, just a gentle old black gin. Nearly over now, now I'm easy. She left me with 2 sons and a daughter on a foam-dry farm whose soil cried out for water. My care was rough and ready, but they grew up fine and steady. Nearly over now, now I'm easy. My daughter married young and went her own way. My sons lie buried by the Burma Railway. On this land I made my own, I carried on alone. Nearly over now, now I'm easy. City folk these days despise a cocky. With subsidies and all we've had it easy. There's no drought, no starving stock on a Stewart suburban block. Nearly over now, now I'm easy. For nearly 60 years I've been a cocky. Droughts and fires and floods I've lived through plenty. But this country's dust and mud has seen my tears and blood. Nearly over now, now I'm easy. Nearly over now, now I'm easy.
Eric Vogel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. And right, before Alun, we've got. Well, there's no way we're going to get round again. It's taken us 2 hours to get to this point because you've all been yakking again and taking the piss out of me. So the plan after Alun.
You make it easy though, John. Sorry.
Following his example, that's right. Yeah.
Is we're going to have one from Mr. Manouche because I want to hear the one that he's got practiced a cappella. And we'll have a few people that...
Oh, practice, John. I just said I'd do it.
Well, that's good enough for me. Then we'll pick on a few people that, well, probably in another, I don't know how long when we're not Zooming, we're going to miss. So we'll have Maureen. And being as we're a Welsh club, we'll have Gwyn's poem. Are you paying attention, Alan? No, you're not. We've got...
Yes, no, I've got it organised. It's all queued up, John.
Alan, Maureen, Gwyn's poem, Brian and Sue, Linda, Terry, Alun. And I'd love to put everybody on, but I can't. But I'll tell you what, I've really missed Helen and Mike tonight. They always cheer everybody up, don't they, with a bit of a happy clappy.
Absolutely.
And I think they're not going to be here next week either. So see how that goes. Right. Did you remember to go for your blood test this morning, Mr. Rhys Jones? You're muted.
Yes, I did. I had a blood test. Whether it's successful or not, well, the blood was tested. The blood was extracted, so the test was successful. Whether the numbers will show it, I don't know. I did stop drinking earlier last night than normally, just to give my blood a chance.
When
yeah, but you'd had at least 2 bottles when we left.
These 4.1%, less than a pint. That was all I had last night. It's the scotch I had on the bedside table this morning that caused the problem. Thank you.
Yes, but do you realise, Alan, that by replacing chips with salad, you can lose up to 87% of the joy that you still have in your miserable little life?
Absolutely. That's why I eat the chips, John. How many miserable fat people do you know?
That's why he comes here as well.
There it is.
I developed a diagnostic test last week.
You see, I knew we'd get the
there's
medical
the PCR
input.
test, the polymerase chain reaction, which is very expensive, very accurate, very slow. And the LFT, which is cheaper and quicker but less accurate. Well, I produced one called the FAST test, the FAS test, which is free and is instant but not quite as accurate as the others. It stands for fart and sniff. And I'm happy to say I tested myself this morning, and not only did I not have COVID, but neither did anyone else in the same lift.
Oh. There's a medical insight. Good God. There we are.
Moving
I
on.
wish you were my GP, Gaffer. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, Doctor.
I have a song, surprisingly enough, from Paul Brady. I hope nobody sung it already because I wasn't here. It's called The Island. And
we've all done that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell. Oh, no.
Can we all join in the?
I did it twice, Alan.
The beach sounds.
Yes, of course, John. Feel kin free. That's what I'm saying. Feel kin free. Anyway, it's The Island by Paul The Island written by Paul Brady, sung by me. They say the skies over Lebanon are burning, those mighty cedars are bleeding in the heat. We see the pictures on the television, women and children dying in the street. But we're still at it in our own place, still trying to build a future from the past, still trying to carve tomorrow from a tombstone. But hey, don't listen to me, this wasn't meant to be a sad song. I sung enough for those before. Tonight I only want to be here with you till the morning dew comes falling. I wanna take you to the island, trace your footprints in the sand, and in the evening when the sun goes down, we'll make love to the sound of the ocean. They're raising banners over by the market, whitewashing slogans on the shipyard wall, witch doctors praying for a mighty showdown. No way this holy flag of ours will fall. For here we sacrifice our children to feed the worn out dreams of yesterday. We teach them dying will lead us into glory. But hey, don't listen to me, this wasn't meant to be a sad song. We've heard too much of that before. Tonight I only want to be here with you till the morning dew comes falling. I wanna take you to the island, trace your footprints in the sand, and in the morning when there's no one around, we'll make love to the sound of the ocean. That's enough ocean, thank you. I know us poor folks don't know the whole story. I know that peace and love's just copping out. I guess those young men dying in the ditches are just what being free is all about. That twisted wreckage down on Main Street will bring us all together in the end, and we'll go marching down the road to freedom. Freedom. But hey, don't listen to me, this wasn't meant to be a sad song. I've sung enough of those before. Tonight I only want to be here with you in the morning dew footprints in the sand. And in the evening when the sun goes down, we'll make love to the sound. Here it comes. Of the ocean. Of the ocean. Harder, harder. Of the ocean.
Beautiful, Al.
Beautiful.
It's a grand song. It's a grand song.
Gorgeous.
Good song to sing, especially if you remember the words.
Splendid.
I am.
Yeah. Good average. Good
Brilliant.
average.
Brilliant,
Bless
Al.
him.
Right, we're halfway.
Can't believe it.
Okay, so we're up in the mountains with.
I'm
Alan.
about 7/8 of the
Did
way.
you
I'm
ever
afraid.
find a video of Fox Firkin, Alan?
I found it. I've got to just sort of try and cut a piece out of it. That's all. It's
Can you
about.
try not
better
to
be
call him
bloody
Firkin
quick.
Allen, please? I've stopped now. Stop.
My mother-in-law hated the name. She said, "You can't call yourself Fox Firkin." So we got it from the T-shirt that said, "For Fox's sake, get us a Firkin pint." And my mother-in-law was very devout Catholic, and she said you can't use that, so we did.
I seem to remember you saying Firkin the Fox on one occasion.
Probably. We were called Foxy Firkin on some BBC TV programme once by Ian Skidmore. He said, "Here's Foxy Firkin," which was like not quite right.
Could you have not got away with fecking?
Oh.
Foxy fecking.
Oh, right, we're going downhill here.
I know. Right, I do this song for John. Requested this. He said I practiced. I didn't really need to practice because I've sung it for about 18 years. At a campsite in Conway for about 35 weeks a year. So anyway, I wish I had Alan. I'm used to with the accordions playing behind me, but yeah, we can't do that. And Andy Mack's not here. It's called Mershyn Durkin. So I want to see some movement there. In the days when I went courting, I was never tired, resorting to the alehouse and the playhouse, and to many a house beside. Well, I told me brother Seamus, I'll go off and I'll be famous, and before I return again, I've roamed the world wide. Well, it's goodbye, Mershyn Durkin, sure I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the praties, and no longer I'll be fooled. And as sure as my name is Carney, I'll be off to California. Instead of digging praties, I'll be digging lumps of gold. Nya nya dium dum dar, skiddly eye diddly eye dumma dumma da. Nya nya dium dum dar, skiddly eye diddly eye day. Nya nya dium dum dar, skiddly eye diddly eye dumma dumma da. Nya nya dium dum da, skiddly eye diddly eye day. Oh well, I've courted gays in Carney, in Cantock and Killarney, in Passage and in Queenstown. That's on the Cub of Cork. But I'm tired of all this pleasure, so now I'll take me leisure. And the next time that you hear from me be a letter from New York. Oh, well, it's goodbye, Mershyn Durkin, sure I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the praties, and no longer I'll be fooled. But as sure as my name is Carney, I'll be off to California. Instead of digging praties, I'll be digging lumps of gold. Let's see. Nya nya dum dum dar, skiddly eye diddly eye dumma dumma da. Yarn yardium dum dar, skiddly eye diddly. And again, come on. Yarn yardium dum dar, skiddly eye diddly eye dumma dumma da. Yarn yardium dum dar, skiddly eye diddly eye day. So goodbye to all the boys at home. I'm sailing far across the foam. Gonna make me fortune in far America, where there's gold and money plenty for the poor and for the gentry. And the next time that you hear from me be a letter from New York. Oh, well, it's goodbye, Mershyn Durkin, sure I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll dig the praties, and no longer I'll be fooled. And as sure as my name is Carney, I'll be off to California. And before I will learn again, I'd roam the world wide. Oh, well, it's goodbye, Merchant Durkin. Sure, I'm heckin' tired of working. No more I'll dig, the plate is done, no longer I'll be full. But assure his name is Carney, I'll be off to California. And the next time yet you hear from me, be a letter from New York. Oi! Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I dum dum da. Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I day. Come on! Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I dum da. One more! Nya dim dum da, skidly I day. Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I dum dum da. Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I day. Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I dum dum da. Nya nya dim dum da, skidly I diddly I day.
Yeah! Oh, that's taken me back
23 or 4 years, John.
Sing Alan, stunning. Stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Andy Mack's only in Chester, isn't he? Is he in Chester nowadays?
He's back in Tregarth.
Oh, right, there we are.
I tried to contact him. I tried to get him to come along to this, but
He could,
because he plays flute brilliantly, clarinet, accordion. He can't play the bagpipes. Could be better than me in a week.
No wonder he doesn't come to this then.
Yeah.
I was on the imaginary bowl and then
I could hear you.
Unfortunately,
everyone clapping really good. Thank you all.
Right. Oh, that was absolutely cracking, Alan. Thanks for that one.
You're welcome, John.
So, Maureen,
Right.
you got to follow that.
I was having such a good time. I didn't put the chorus in the chat. So you've heard it before. So you have to follow my instructions and yell back. Pull your oars.
Pull on your what? Your ears? Your oars?
Your oars.
No.
Pull your oars.
Away. With 1,000 quarts of whiskey bound for Valparaiso Bay, and we haven't no intention for to see the USA. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Windsor is a lovely port we're proud to sing about. There's a warehouse full of whiskey, though the Yankees do without. And when customs ask us where we're bound, we ship our oars and shout. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Pull your oars!
Oars!
We're on our way!
We're on our way!
With 1,000 quarts of whiskey bound for Valparaiso Bay, and we haven't no intention for to see the USA. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Some say that for an ocean trip, our craft is very small, but we bold Canadians don't fear a little Cape Horn squall, and the deep sea schooner's just too big to shoot Niagara Falls. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Pull your oars!
Pull your oars!
We're on our way!
On our way!
With 1,000 quarts of whiskey bound for Valparaiso Bay, and we haven't no intention for to see the USA. Valparaiso in a rowboat. Though Michigan is very near and Chile's very far, we are expert navigators, we can steer by any star, but the cat pissed on the sextant and we don't know where we are. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Pull your oars!
Pull your oars!
We're on our way!
We're on our way!
With 1,000 quarts of whiskey bound for Valparaiso Bay, and we haven't no intention for to see the USA. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. We've sailed for Valparaiso 27 times this week. But every time we've gotten to the mouth of Muddy Creek, we've had to jettison our cargo because the oarlock sprung a leak. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Pull your oars!
Pull your oars!
We're on our way!
We're on our way!
With 1,000 1,000 quarts of whiskey bound for Valparaiso Bay, and we haven't no intention for to see the
USA.
We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Now some sing of Vancouver, of St. John and Halifax, but those salty water cities, they have nothing Windsor lacks. We've a dory load of whiskey and the muscles in our back. So we're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat. Pull your oars!
Pull your oars!
We're on our way!
We're on our way!
With 1,000 quarts of whiskey bound for Valparaiso Bay, and we haven't no intention for to see the USA. We're bound for Valparaiso in a rowboat.
Yes! Oh, lovely one, Maureen. No, it didn't sound too bad with everyone joining in, and they're right. Man alive.
Oh. Right, I've completely lost my thread.
Oh, that was lovely. That was lovely.
I've not had so much fun since the cat ate the budgie.
Don't tell Al that. He's a vegetarian. Come on.
We're going to settle down now, boys and girls, for a minute, because we've got Gwyn's poem.
Oh, right.
Come on, Alan.
I'll mute myself. I'm ready to share, John. I'll share anything once. I'll mute myself and then I'll put Gwyn's poem on. Okay.
Wow.
Here we go.
Here we are again, another Friday. Alan Manouche must have got psychic powers, I think. He predicted another 4 weeks, and another 4 weeks is what the doctor said. There we go. Tonight's offering has been prompted by two events. One by the fact that the poem is written by Geraint Jarman, who was a massive star in the 80s, still is a star in many, many ways. Hen Rockar, they call him in Welsh. Absolutely fantastic. When his band used to tour this part of the world, they used to come and stay in the 80s. Amazing. And this is a piece that he wrote. But it was also inspired by the politician Lloyd George, who was giving a St David's Day speech in Cardiff one year. And he recalled his school days in Caernarfon, sitting in the school classroom being taught Latin and looking out of the school classroom window at Segontium, the Roman fort which was constructed where Caernarfon is today, to protect the Menai Straits, most likely. And he was reflecting that when they left that classroom and went out into the schoolyard, the language they spoke was Welsh. Well, who would have placed bets in the Roman era that Latin would be a dead language, although the Tories are trying to revive it in schools now, and the Welsh would still be spoken. And this is a poem by Geraint Jarman called Y Gymraeg, the Welsh language. Y Gymraeg, gan Geraint Jarman. Mae styfnigrwydd yn ddi, sy'n mynnu ffynnu mewn tir diffaith. A thraf o'r creisiau'n ffaith ac yn weladwy I bawb, nid yw'r corff yn gweud I hyd ysbyty. Arhoswn beunydd, yn lolfa ein gybeithion, yn disgwyl newyddion da. Tra rhywle y mogel creadigaeth, gwn fod styfnigrwydd yn ddi, sy'n mynnu ffynnu. Y llaeth o fron mam. Cyfeiliant ein telyn, fel cyllell trwy fenyn. Diolch.
Gwyn is sponsored by Gillette, by the way.
Oh, wow. Fabulous.
Have you still got the designer stubble, Gwyn? I'm looking at it.
It's got
Almost
even,
the best
even
that
better.
you can get. I've gone on to Harry now because it out of a misguided kind of joy at the distress of the royal family.
I'm with Harry anyway. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm with Gwen.
That was
Gwerin
lovely.
and Sue. Come on, you've had plenty of warning.
What did he say?
Don't go changing your guitars over now.
No.
I'm just picking one up. Right. A couple of months ago, we were truly inspired by a song on here. We're all right now, but you're probably thinking actually it's John singing Sally Wheatley, but it wasn't.
Bastards.
No, it was Mike's version of Song for Ireland. Beautiful.
Absolutely
beautiful song.
gorgeous.
And we had to look into it, and I hope he has no objections to us singing a accompanied version. He wouldn't want to hear us do it unaccompanied.
Thief.
No, sorry.
We won't play it anymore.
Oh, pot calling kettle, I think you'll find. Pot calling kettle.
Right.
No, it was a gorgeous version.
So we did look it up on YouTube, and we honed in on a version by a Scottish girl called Siobhan Wilson. And that's what we based this on. It's not the same, but it's pretty similar.
Walking all the day near tall towers where falcons build their nests. Silver wing they fly, they know the call of freedom in their breasts. Saw black-head against the sky, with twisted rocks they run down to the sea. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, and I asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Talking all the day with true friends who tried to make you stay. Telling jokes and news, singing songs to pass Watch the Galway salmon run like silver dancing, darting in the sun. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, and I asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Drinking all the day in old pubs where fiddlers love to play. Someone touched the bow. He played a reel which seemed so grand and gay. Stood on Dingle Beach and cast in wild foam we found Atlantic bass. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, and I asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Dreaming in the night, I saw a land where no one had to fight. Waking in your dawn, I saw you crying in the morning light. Lying where the falcons fly, they twist and turn all in your red blue sky. Living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, and I asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Sang a song for Ireland. I sang a song for Ireland.
Oh, lovely.
Hey.
Beautiful, Brian and Sue. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well. What a bag of crap that was.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that again tomorrow, actually.
Oh, yeah. My definition, that's sympathetic guitar accompaniment.
Absolutely.
That's it. Yeah.
I didn't want that one to finish.
Ah, lovely, yeah. We talked about pot calling kettle when Mike was accusing you of stealing a song. But in Welsh, the equivalent of pot calling kettle is something like dwed the bran tin ddi wrth wylan. I don't know whether my grammar's right there, but basically that's a crow calling a seagull a black arse. Because of course they've all So pot calling kettle. Sorry, David. Correct me, David.
Tinddi y defran wrth y wylan.
Dyna ni. Tinddi dwed bran wrth y wylan. Yeah.
I visited Dingle Bay when I went to Ireland a few years ago, and all the bays along that coast are like Norwegian fjords, sort of long things with the settlements on either side. And we stopped over this cliff overlooking, I think it is Dingle, the town across the other side, and another car stopped and a local got out. It was the driver and two other tourists, and they stared out to sea for a while, and then he turned to me and said, "We're looking for fungi." And I thought, I'd be looking at the ground if I were looking for mushrooms, you know. And a bit later on, we went down to the beach, and on the beach there was a guy who approached me there and said, "Have you seen fungi?" What's all this? Anyway, fungi is the local dolphin, the local celebrity dolphin. 5 years or something. And when we got round into the town, it was perfectly obvious why, because the entire seafront was nothing but businesses that were like built up round fungi tours and all, everything was named after him and was commercialising this character who keeps on coming in year after year after year.
A bit like Loch Ness Monster, maybe you could say, couldn't you? Except he's real. Yeah.
Alan ate him for his tea last week.
Oh. But the most important thing, Paul, was, did all these seagulls have black arses? That's the most important question.
Have to look next.
Enough.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Tinddi. Black arse. Yeah, lovely.
Talking about arseholes, this is an interesting experiment. It's surprising you don't realise how many arseholes there are in the world, and people actually know it. And to prove a point, if you go into a supermarket and shout, "Hey, arsehole," just see how many people turn round. Hey?
You've done this, have you, John?
Yeah, of course.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Well done,
Linda.
John.
Oh boy.
You can tell by the number of black eyes he's got that he does that.
Linda, get us out of this.
Come on, Linda. Come on, Linda.
Okay, I'm going to do Kate Bush, Under the Ivy. It wouldn't take me long to tell you how to find it, to tell you where we'll meet. This little girl inside me is retreating to her favorite place. Go into the garden, go under the ivy, under the leaves, away from the party. Go right to the rose, go right to the white rose. I sit here in the thunder, the green on the grey. I feel it all around me. And it's not easy for me to give away a secret. It's not safe. Go into the garden, go under the ivy, under the leaves, away from the party. Go right to the rose, go right to the white rose. I sit here in the thunder, the green on the grey. I feel it all around me. And it's not easy for me to give away a secret. It's not safe. Go into the garden, go under the ivy, go under the leaves with me. Go right to the rose, go right to the white white rose, I'll be waiting for you. It wouldn't take me long to tell you how to find it.
Did you miss the testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I did. I was going to say, did you want to do it before I started? But I just wanted to keep that element of surprise.
I am so sorry. Bloody hell. Yeah.
I'm used to heckling. It's fine.
Oh, you need to be if you're coming here. Right. Terence.
Okay, here we are. Like lots of people, I have a song all set up and ready to go, and then at the last minute, for all kinds of reasons, it suddenly seems appropriate to do something else, which is what's going to happen. Here we go. Turn the tables, so take the chairs, take the moon and stars, take Manhattan or anywhere, take my world apart. Take a left turn, take a right, take the high road or the low, take the mornings, keep the night, but leave my heart alone. Take it easy, take your time, time is all we had. I'll keep the whiskey, you take the wine, we save the best till last. Take the good times, take the bad, take them. Take the future, take the past, but leave my heart alone. Sign the papers, take the keys. This old house is almost empty, and there's nothing here we need. Take no notice if I say I still believe. Take the arrows and the bow, but leave my heart alone. Take the margins, you take the page, take the music and the songs, take the rainbows, leave me the rain. I can't do right for wrong. Take my shadow, take my soul, or take me as I am. And all I ask before you go, don't break my heart again.
Brilliant, Terry.
Oh, just to die for.
Mind-blowingly good, that. Bloody hell, Terry.
Was that a proper song?
Yeah, well, I've not done that one before live. That's why I suddenly.
Brilliant, really, really good.
Oh, wow.
It comes here experimenting.
We're nothing but guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's fabulous.
Terry.
Lovely,
Brilliant.
Terry. Lovely.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I
we
think
are. Even
when we
Isn't there?
actually get back, and assuming we sort of still have a club to go to, and if we can afford guests, my first name on the list is Terry Hisco.
Hisco.
Yes.
I shall be there. I shall be there.
Right.
Like a shot.
We can put you up here in fine accommodation in
That
Cheshire.
would be fine. Just the
You
price
don't
of a
have
pint.
to rough it in Wales.
Oh, I've got tons of room here, so it's
You
fine.
can stop in civilization with us.
Or you can come to the mountains, whichever you want.
Is Terry Hisco where they got the name Tesco from? Like
this
Yeah,
is it.
you can be in the Tory heartlands, Terry.
Yeah.
I just can't tell you how good it's going to be to see people. As
Yeah.
I'm gradually getting back to live gigs and going to some Zoom sessions and meeting people that I've only ever seen in little screens. It's just lovely to see people. They're all so short or tall or.
Yeah. Mostly short and fat here.
They have to wear cardboard windows.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Oh, feeling uncomfortable.
Traditionally built. We are.
I am the
Like a
original.
barrel.
I am the original long streak of piss.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's been said before, John.
Okay, I don't.
Here's to John's dad. 100 today. There he is.
Oh, yeah, John Mr. Warburton Senior.
He would have
There we
been
are.
if he was still here.
There you go. Yeah.
To him.
100 today.
I don't
Bloody
think
hell.
anybody could have argued with my choice of people for the second round. We've had a cracking night. And don't let us down now, Alan.
Oh, shit. Oh, right. Okay.
Come on, Mr. Jones.
Sorry, language, Timothy.
Sorry. It's just that I've been dealing with so much shit that it seems a natural thing to talk
I
about.
was explaining to them earlier that is your vacation in life.
There he is.
Here he is.
Oh,
Cleaning
lovely.
up dog shit.
Yes.
We know that, Al.
Marvellous. Nothing like playing with turds all
He's
week.
9 weeks old.
That's him.
And he's absolutely gorgeous. He's a cockapoo-poo-poo. He's a cockapoo with the emphasis on the poo at the moment.
I'm glad it's not an emphasis on the cock.
Mongrel.
Oh, no, on the
Come
poo.
on, Paul.
Yeah.
Probably not the cock.
Two of my grandsons came to see him the other day, and they suggested that we should call him, instead of a cockapoo, a cockapoodle, a poocock. And I said, no, he plays for Australia. Doesn't he? Isn't he a flanker? I think he's a flanker. Hell of a flanker. Yeah.
A lot of flankers here, mate.
Yeah.
That's right.
What colour is he, Alan?
Pardon?
What colour is he?
He's lemon road. Is it road? He's
what
yeah.
does
Oh,
that
he's
remind you of?
strawberry blonde. He's strawberry blonde after John. Yeah.
That's just grey. Come on.
The difference is that the dog didn't used to be ginger.
He's bloody white.
I like that one, Al.
I've
When
got
do
a
we get
tune.
to see him?
Instead of a song, I haven't got a chorus song. I mean, it's very naughty of me, really. I've got a little tune from Ireland by Turlo O'Carolan, as you might expect, half expect. Oh, it's a tune called Morgan Magan. Morgan Magan. I imagine it was probably pronounced. And it's a lovely little tune, bouncy little tune. I hope I get through it. If I don't, I'll stop. Here it is, Morgan Magan.
Yes, Al.
Bit of a change.
Oh, I love
an ABC song.
I'd love to see you and Andy Mack have a accordion out. It would be really cool.
What, dueling accordions?
Yeah, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? You and Andy Mack would be fantastic, actually.
It could be. It could
be brilliant.
The piano accordion gets a lot of stick, but
I love it.
You can play music with them.
I've been brought up. I mean, all my singing's been with accordions.
Right.
That's why you can't sing. No.
You've got to do this business. You know when they say to pianists, do this, and your left hand, right hand, do this, half your brain here, half your brain there. The accordion is very much a vamping organ on the left hand and a piano on the right. So it's there we are.
I've only got half a brain at the best of the times.
Well, thank you, John. Thank you. No, I've got a whole brain. I just choose to use half of it at a time.
An accordionist can work on 1/4 of a brain anyway, can't they?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I just point out, John, that I think the swear box will be really heavy tonight.
Not guilty. Oh, arsehole.
I had a backing organ, but I lost
just
it.
think of the start of the last song, John, there, Alan.
Oh dear. Right. Oh dear. I blame the
Well,
side.
here we are. We have wound up yet again, and it's been another belt of a night. As I said to you all earlier, we will be here next week, and beyond that, I'm not sure. We might be here till the end of September, or we might be here for. We don't know. We'll have a meeting on Tuesday.
Oh yes.
Certainly, if it's up to me and Alan, we will keep a Zoom. Sort of
Blood
thing
will be spilt
going.
on Tuesday, John. Blood will be spilt for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I will press the stop record button. Yeah.
Well, you haven't done yet.